Hello and welcome to the Heel Turn Podcast for the week of
September 16th,
2013. I am your host, Big Al. With me, as almost always, is
Nick, the Shopmaster McGee. Get it right. I'm always here.
Except when you're not.
Okay. That was just uncalled for.
And as also, we have with us our technical producer.
Sensational Sosa. You forget my name?
Yes, he did.
We've been married 6 years.
Wow. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. This is a life lesson. Today's podcast is a very special one. It's a 99% ROH Ring of Honor podcast. We will be previewing Death Before Dishonor 11 coming up this Friday, September 20th, live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But before we get into that, Big Al, we have to spend at least a few minutes talking about last night's pay-per-view, WWE Night of Champions. Your thoughts real quickly, Big Al?
My thoughts are this.
Yeah, the pay-per-view basically just sucks. Sensational Souls, your opinion?
I concur. It was terrible.
There was definitely quite a lot of turds in the punch bowl.
It wasn't me. I felt good about Daniel Bryan winning the title, but there was some real caution as I saw him celebrating the ring. You saw the caution in the crowd.
Yeah.
Everybody was literally looking to their right at the stage, looking for Triple H's music to hit. You know, I am the king of kings music to come out and hit. I was listening for Motorhead to come out.
Yeah, I'm hoping that payoff comes tonight because, the story needs to continue because they have nothing else.
Well, the story is definitely going to continue. My prediction will be, and I said this during the pre-show fist fight.
Book it.
Yes, a quick book it. My prediction will be Daniel Bryan come out with WWE Championship. All praises. Everybody go crazy with the yes thing. Believe in the beer crap. Live from Cleveland, Ohio later on tonight. And guess what? Triple H will come to the ring, all calm and collected, say, I have to do what's best for business, and to save the integrity of the WWE and WWE Championship, I am forced to strip Daniel Bryan WWE Championship due to an error in officiating. Referee Scott Armstrong did a fast count and caused reign of the WWE Championship. And Daniel Bryan will be stripped of the title, and it will not go on record that he won the WWE Championship. That'd be the biggest heel incident in WWE in recent memory.
I would be okay with that.
I would laugh my butt off.
And just imagine if Triple H handed the belt back to Orton.
I don't think he will.
You think there's going to be a tournament?
I think there might be a tournament. There might be a deciding match between the two of them.
Iron Man match?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Great.
Iron Man
I don't think Randy could do an hour.
Plus,
there'd be a lot of rest holds.
You have to ask the fans out there, can you stand seeing Randy Orton wrestle for a whole hour?
Well, it's better than watching...
I can see... You know what? If it was Cena, I could see Cena go for an hour.
And
it would not bother me. Yeah, he done it. He wrestled like 45 minutes against CM Punk 2 or 3 years ago in Chicago. But Randy Orton, do we really want to see Orton in a 1 hour Iron Man match? If that happens. I'm saying if this happened, folks. We're just shooting in the dark here. We don't know.
Yeah. That's
just my booking prediction. But if it goes that way, just imagine the heat that Triple H and Orton will receive if they strip Daniel Bryan of that belt. And also, as a coup de grace, Sensational Souls cringe on this one earlier. They threatened Scott Armstrong and kicked Bullet Bob out of the Hall of Fame.
No!
Bullet Bob Armstrong gets kicked
Bullet
out of the Hall
Bob
of Fame.
didn't have anything to do with it.
Yes, his last name is Armstrong.
You know what?
So is Stretch.
And one more thing real quickly. Dusty Rhodes is coming to Raw tonight.
Yes! I'm so excited.
The American Dream, if you will,
is
coming to Raw tonight to confront the corporation. What is Dusty going to do? You know, your son got fired. Goldust got smoked a little bit, even though he had an awesome match against Orton. We have to admit that match was awesome last week. But, come on, the Rhodes family got buried by the corporation, by the McMahons.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to come out with Sapphire. He's going to dig her up from the
He's going to weaken at Bernie's her?
Yes, he's going to weekend at Bernie Sapphire.
Will we have a bunkhouse brawl match or something, or a
Yes.
lights out match, or a classic NWA Bull Rope match between him and Triple H? Or
No matter what, it'll be a dusty finish.
if he has a finish, he's gonna call up his goons from NST to jump the ring and fake. Would that be cool?
Yes, that would be friggin' awesome if he brought all the guys from NXT up.
All the top prospects, not
all
the
the
crappy
top,
ones.
all the top prospects,
Who
brought them up
actually
and did an actual Nexus kind of thing on Triple H.
Don't say the word Nessus too loud.
Oh.
Don't say that too loud. Anyway, final thoughts real quick before we jump to our 99.9% ROH preview show.
I have to say, I was kind of disappointed I didn't see a Doomsday device from Natty Neidhart with Naomi in prime position for it.
Terribly unfulfilling.
No, it wasn't. It was actually a pretty decent match.
It was. It really was.
One of the better matches on the card.
To me, one of the better matches on the card actually was the two matches involving the Shield: Ambrose versus Ziggler, and Rollins and Reigns against primetime players. Those were two of the best matches. Not disqualifying Orton and Daniel Bryan, but
expect that one to be good.
Yeah, but the last three matches on the card made the pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. Why actually go out and buy the pay-per-view all over again? Heck to the no. Actually, I'm asking for my refund back from Comcast if they accept my request for a refund. But it just overall was a crappy pay-per-view. It could have been a lot better done. Battleground's going to suck. Hell in a Cell going to suck. I'm telling our fans out there, just don't order WWE pay-per-view until Survivor Series.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Or, just sit on Twitter and watch it get spoiled.
Yeah, basically. With everybody tweeting who won, who lost, and what interfered and all that crap.
Yeah.
Alright, moving right along, ladies and gentlemen. ROH, Ring of Honor, is coming to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on September 21st. Excuse me. On September 20th and September 21st, Friday and Saturday. Friday night is the Internet pay-per-view, Death Before Dishonor 11. And, of course, Saturday night is the plain Ring of Honor TV taping. It's going to be a huge night. It's going to be a historical event, Big Al. We will have a crowning of a new ROH World Heavyweight Champion. And ROH to have on their website, this is titled A Moment of a Lifetime. A brand new ROH World Heavyweight Champion. The competitors involved: Mr. Wrestling, Kevin Steen, the final four participants in the ROH World Tournament. Mr. Wrestling, Kevin Steen, the Unbreakable, our good friend, Michael Elkin.
Love that guy. He's fun. Awesome.
The Sicilian Psychopath, Capetta, and the Pajama Party City Party Boy himself, Mr. Number One, Adam Cole.
Now, I heard he was good.
Adam Cole is a tremendous wrestler. And don't be surprised if he walks out of Philadelphia Friday night with the ROH World Heavyweight Championship.
I'm hoping for Elgin, but it can go to any one of these four guys.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kevin Steen is a former World Heavyweight Champion. During his heel run, he was incredible as a heel. At one point, he called himself professional wrestling's worst nightmare. At one point, Kevin Steen cut some great promos. I like him so far as a face. After the whole angle with Scum. But, man, Kevin Steen has the opportunity to recapture the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. Michael Elkin, it seems like he has blossomed. His time seems like it's now. Personally, I'm really pulling for Michael Elkin. And Adam Cole, you can't say enough about him. Capetta, he's a great wrestler. I've seen a lot of him the last couple of years. He could easily walk out there as ROH World Heavyweight Champion himself. It's basically a toss-up between these four great athletes. And not only the ROH World Heavyweight Championship Tournament, semifinals, and final match is going on, also on the card, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles will be online. The Forever Hooligans, Rocky Romero and Alex Kozlov, will be defending their titles against the American Werewolves, Davey Richards, and Eddie Edwards. And Big Al, the IWGP Championship is a legendary championship from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Been around even before our time. This is going to be a great match with four of the best junior weight / cruiserweight competitors in the wrestling industry. this match is going to be a show stealer Friday night.
I know, right? I mean, you got guys like Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards who can go all over.
Oh, yeah. American Werewolves, great time. And also, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards had a big tryout with the WWE over a week ago. And they were the two standouts.
Yeah, weren't they? Yeah.
They're two standouts, so they could be possible WWE prospects. And we cannot discount Ricky and Alice as well, the Forever Hooligans. Their gimmick, I love their gimmick. They're great wrestlers. Rocky been around for a long time. So has Alice. They've been all over the world. And this match is going to be a show stealer. Big Al, if you have to choose who will come out on top of this tag team classic.
I gotta give it to the American Werewolves, only because of what we've seen with them so far.
A part of me really want to go with the American Werewolves, but I really think the Forever Hooligans going to retain the IWGP
you know what?
Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. I really do.
You know what? I'll be completely honest. I'm not 100% familiar with either team. Mm-hmm. I've only seen like a handful of things on them, and only just.
I mean, I saw the American Werewolves in person. I seen Rocky and Alice in person too. These two teams can go. I seen the American Werewolves at ROH event in Chicago Ridge back in 2009 when they took on the Briscoe brothers in one of the best tag team matches I have seen probably forever. I think that particular event was one of the last events that Daniel Bryan wrestled before he went to WWE. He was Bryan Danielson back then. The American Dragon. He wrestled Austin Aries for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship because Austin Aries held the ROH World title back then. And the American Werewolves are phenomenal, but I have to give the edge to the Forever Hooligans. Also, the next match on the card is a special challenge match. Ricky Marvin versus Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong is an ROH legend, been around the company for a long time, competing in TNA.
I'm gonna have to give it to Roderick Strong because it is not hit. Pedigree is the wrong word.
He does have a pedigree. He has that prototype, and he's a former ROH champion.
No, I mean, pedigree is the wrong word. Not the word I want to say. It's the word that came to mind.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say he's the vet.
Right.
He's the vet out of the two.
He's a vet out of the two, and Ricky Marvin's a great young athlete. He's coming up very slowly through the indie ranks. He's making headways here in ROH. And I'm going to give the edge to the rookie here. Okay. Even though Roderick Strong is, as we all know, is the back-breaking messiah, because he can hit you with that backbreaker literally from any angle. He reminds you of Diamond Dallas Page when you hit the diamond cutter from any angle. I mean, Roderick Strong can hit you with a backbreaker literally from any angle. I mean, when Roderick Strong hit you with the backbreaker.
Kind of like how Kurt Angle was able to hit you with the ankle lock from any
direction. It doesn't matter. You could be sitting on the toilet taking a dump, and Roderick Strong will hit you with a backbreaker.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'll give it to Roderick Strong.
I want to talk about the 8-man tag team match.
Go ahead.
Oh man, dude, this looks amazing. I mean, we've got the World Tag Champions, Red Dragon,
Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish, along with the World TV Champ, Matt Taven, and a guy who will be interviewing later on in this podcast, Michael Bennett, with Truth Martini, the Hotties, and another ROH superstar who will be interviewing later to talk about her no-hate campaign, Maria Kanellis, versus Adrian Line Rush, ACH, and Tadarius Thomas, and the CC Wrestling Company.
I got it popped only because of the CC Wrestling Company. Only because I grew up with the CC Music Factory. It just makes me smile.
Oh my goodness.
It just makes me smile hearing that team name. It just makes me smile.
So you say that team's going to win the match just because they make you all giggly and girly inside?
No, not at all. I'm just saying that team name makes me smile.
Oh my God. You know what?
See?
You know what? I'm going with the ROH World Tag Team Champions, O'Reilly and Fish, along with Taven, who is a great TV champ, by the way. You see Matt Taven, he's a great competitor. He was trained by the legendary Spike Dudley. He was trained by Spike Dudley. He's a tough competitor. And Michael Bennett is one of the best up-and-coming stars I've seen in a long time. he's going to be the future face of ROH in the next couple of years. I see it right now. So I'll give it to those guys to win this big 8-man tag.
He's got a great look.
Oh yeah, he's a tremendous look. And we're gonna ask Mike Bennett about the possibility of him almost jumping ship to the WWE at one point earlier this year. Can't wait for that interview later on here in the podcast.
Yeah.
And the next match is the undercard match: Jay Lethal versus Silas Young. And we all know the history of Jay Lethal, former TNA superstar, made headways at TNA. He first originally started out ROH.
Honestly, he didn't make headways. He jumped really high until he hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then he fell back down.
But he's basically rebranding himself for ROH. He's a great competitor. Actually was picked as a favorite in the ROH World Heavyweight Title Tournament, but got eliminated by Adam Cole in the second round of the tournament, which was a tremendous match that I saw on ROH TV a few days ago. It was a tremendous matchup. And also making appearances is the Outlaw Incorporated, Homicide and Eddie Kingston. And we all know Homicide's history. Him and Eddie's going to make an impact at that Before Honor 11. You know they're going to make an impact. Our good friend Ricky Reyes, who's a good friend of the Heel Turn podcast, had mentioned his history with Homicide. And you know Homicide is definitely going to make an impact. And Eddie Kingston is a tremendous wrestler as well. And see him and Homicide together as an actual unit, as an actual tag team, is really going to spark the tag division in ROH.
Now, I haven't had a chance to catch any work by either of them. How do they look in the ring together?
Oh, they're tremendous. Tremendous competitors, tremendous workers. If you like the hardcore violent style, these two could bring it.
I'll be honest, I really don't.
They could bring it. Trust me. They could bring it. And they could wrestle too, if need be. Moving right along, we talk about the ROH World Heavyweight Championship tournament, and we're gonna go ahead and make our bracket predictions for this tournament. And I'm gonna start with Big Al. Big Al, we got your bracket here. The ROH World Heavyweight Championship semifinals and final. Who you got in the first tier of this bracket? The Unbreakable Michael Elkin versus Mr. Wrestling Kevin Steen. You know that's gonna be a great match. Kevin Steen, former World Heavyweight Champion. Michael Elkin had numerous title shots. He actually faced Kevin Steen at one point for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship, but was unsuccessful in obtaining the championship from Kevin Steen. Do you really think Michael Elkin can finally achieve greatness and overcome the former World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Wrestling?
You know what? I have complete faith in Michael Elkin. He can do it. I really think he can do it. Now, as far as Kevin Steen, hell of a worker.
Heck of a worker, great promo king of ROH.
Yes, promo king. But I gotta give it to the younger guy.
You gonna give it to Elkin?
I gotta give it to the younger guy only because he seems a lot more hungry for it.
All right, so Big Al has Michael Elkin in his bracket. What about the next match, Big Al? Adam Cole versus Capella.
You know what? I gotta give it to Capella.
You do? Really?
I think he's the underdog of the match, and I like underdog stories. Plus, I've seen Michael Elgin and Capella compete together before.
Mm-hmm.
They do a good match, and I want to see them fight.
So you got Michael Elgin and Capella in the finals. So who's going to take the championship in your bracket?
You know what? Though when it comes down to those two, it can be either one. Right down the middle, I can't decide.
So Big Al is being a coward and is not going to pick.
You know what? I got a quarter.
Coward.
I got a quarter right here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flip a coin.
All right, go ahead, flip your coin.
Heads Elkin, tails Capella.
It landed on tails, so Capella in Big Al's bracket will walk away with the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. Now in my bracket, I have Michael Elkin advancing to the finals.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course, Michael advanced to the finals. And in the next match, I have Adam Cole defeating Capella. So I have Michael Elkin versus Adam Cole.
You know what? Adam Cole and Bennett, those two, or not Bennett, I'm sorry. Elkin, they both are are great competitors in their own right.
And yeah, wrestling during the independent circuit, they wrestled each other in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla several times. And I'm going to give the edge to Michael Elkin. I'm saying right now, our good friend, Michael Elkin, will walk out Philadelphia, Pennsylvania this Friday night as ROH World Heavyweight Champion, guaranteed. And later on, Big Al, during our interview with Michael Bennett, as he previews the show too, we can ask him for his predictions.
As we will.
And we definitely will. Now briefly, we go turn our attentions to the history of the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. And Big Al, I'm going to ask you a random question real quick. Who was the first ROH World Heavyweight Champion?
Well, you know what? It looks like Lord Kai.
You mean Low Key? Oh my God.
Low Key. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Low Key, if you're listening, I apologize for Big Al. He called you Low Kai's. Low Key.
Leave me alone.
Oh my
It's been a
God.
long night.
Who did Low Key defeat for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship?
You know what? He defeated Spanky, Christopher Daniels, and Doug Williams in a 60-minute Iron Man match.
And what day was that?
That was on July 27th, 2002.
And you want to know, Big Al, who had the longest title reign? Longest title reign in the history of the ROH World Heavyweight Championship?
Tell me.
Samoa Joe held the belt for 21 months and 4 days.
No kidding.
And Samoa Joe had classic matches with CM Punk. Remember the 3 series matches he had with CM Punk?
Yeah.
Oh man, him and Punk at one point, him and Punk wrestled for 75 minutes.
You know what? I don't think CM Punk has it in him to do that anymore.
I bet he does.
I bet you Samoa Joe don't.
Well, Samoa Joe gained about 15, 20 pounds. He probably don't.
Well, you know,
But-
he's Samoan, so you got to give it to him. Samoans don't get older, they just get bigger.
And also, on August 12, 2006, the ROH Pure Championship was unified with the ROH World Heavyweight Championship after Pure Champion Nigel McGuinness lost to ROH World Champion Bryan Danielson in Liverpool, England in the title reunification match. The match was contested under Pure Wrestling rules with the stipulation that both championships could be lost by disqualification or countout. And that was a tremendous matchup. I almost bought that match on DVD a few years ago when I was in college. And it was one of the best wrestling matches I ever seen in my entire life. I don't know why I didn't. I could still go get it. I could go to ROHWrestling.com and purchase the DVD. It's still there. Probably get it at a good discount price.
I know.
And to bring us all back to full circle, ladies and gentlemen, the ROH Championship was declared vacated for the first time since its inception when ROH official Nigel McGuinness stripped then champion Jay Briscoe the title after he was sidelined with injury and was unable to compete in the foreseeable future. So Jay Briscoe had to forfeit the ROH World Heavyweight Champion and thus create this ROH World Heavyweight title tournament, which been a very good and successful tournament.
You know
so
what?
far.
I'm not a fan of guys having to vacate the title due to injury.
Well,
it's not. It's a necessary evil, but I just have to say, it just makes me sad.
I know it makes you sad. I know. But it's tradition. If a champ's injured and they'll defend the title at least once within 30 days, if we go back to old school wrestling storyline psychology and booking, then you have to vacate the belt. The belt has to be defended at least once every 30 days. That's all championships.
I understand that.
And he was injured. He couldn't go.
It's just sad. It makes me sad.
Oh, stop it already. Ladies and
Crying now.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, tune in to Ring of Honor's big event, Before Dishonor 11, Friday, September 20th, 8 o'clock p.m. Tickets are still available for this event. It's live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, from the National Guard Armory. Tickets are still available. Tickets as low as $20 for this event. Go to ROHWrestling.com and purchase your tickets. If you're not able to show up to Philadelphia to witness this event live, it will be available via internet. This is an internet pay-per-view. You go to Ring of Honor. You go to ROHWrestling.com and purchase this pay-per-view and view it via online at a very affordable price. And moving on, Big Al, is our exclusive interview. First, our exclusive interview with the beautiful, the lovely,
the legendary
Maria
Kanellis,
in which she will discuss ROH's partnership with the NOH8 Campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Maria Kanellis. ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you
the First Lady of Ring of Honor.
Yes, the First Lady of Ring of Honor. The only, the beautiful Maria Kanellis. Maria, welcome to the Heel Turn Podcast.
Well, thank you for having me.
Awesome, and my good friend, his name is Scott Christie. He's a huge fan of yours, and he loves you to death. He still has an old poster of you from the WWE that he still has in his room. And,
nice.
And if he was here with us right now, he'd probably be singing to you and ask you for your hand in marriage.
I'm already taken.
Trust me, Mike Bennett claimed you on the last interview. Maria, we're not going to keep you too long. We brought you on today to talk about ROH's involvement with the NOH8 campaign they have coming up this Saturday night at the ROH taping in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Can you talk about that a little bit with us?
Sure. I mean, I've always been a huge supporter of equality. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are or what your orientation is, or if you like to dress crazy or whatever it is. As long as you're not hurting nobody, I believe you should have the right to be happy and to be loved.
I'm in total agreement with you. My wife and I, we had our no-hate photos taken last year in Chicago.
Oh, that's great.
My wife's here as well, but she won't talk because she's not a talker.
She's very nervous, and she's on her knees bowing to the First Lady of ROH right now.
Oh, no, don't do that. Please don't do that.
She's bowing right now.
She's getting up. She's getting
up now. She just walked out of the room saying she hates us both. So, Maria, there's a big event coming up this Friday. We just talked about it with Mike Bennett. We're going to be calling a new ROH World Heavyweight Champion this Friday night at that Before Dishonor 11. Just real quickly, who do you think is going to walk out as ROH World Heavyweight Champion this Friday night?
Gosh, I really hope that it's Steen. I think he's a great champion. I think that what he stands for is tremendous. I think he is a very modern champion, and so I hope that he wins it.
Awesome. So far, Big Al and I in our tournament bracket actually have our good buddy, the Unbreakable Michael Elkin, winning the tournament.
Yes, and a lot of people have him winning the tournament, so we'll have to see what ends up happening.
And you and Ben are on the same page because he had Kevin Steen winning as well.
We are usually on exactly the same page.
Maria,
it's so weird. We talk exactly this, like we end up saying the same things. We have the same jokes, the same humor. So we're really a good match.
You know what? My wife and I, we are the same way.
Yeah, that's great.
One quick thing, Maria, before we let you go, we have to ask you this question real quick. Can you give us your quick thoughts on Total Divas?
Oh, God.
My thoughts on Total Divas. It's nice to see that there's more time for divas on television. I think that it is a great reality show. I'm hoping that it sheds a positive light on the divas and on women's wrestling, but that remains to be seen. I mean, it's a top show, so obviously women wrestlers are a draw. So anybody that said women wrestling is not a draw, they're probably eating their shoe right now because everybody always said that women wrestling doesn't make money, but guess what? Right now, it's one of the top shows on television.
That, and also, I want to direct you to a wonderful documentary about women's wrestling called Lipstick.
It's Lipstick and Dynamite. I've already watched it about 4 times.
Awesome. It's a great documentary. I love it.
It is awesome. I've actually sat down with Kevin Gilliam's family, so I think that she has a tremendous story. Her family lives out in Los Angeles. It's one of those stories that needs to be told, and it's going to be one of my lifelong goals love with women's wrestling, and I think I always will be.
Nice. Do you want to go into a little bit more detail on the No Hate campaign for people who don't know much about it?
Sure. The No Hate campaign has been around for a while. There's been a lot of celebrities that have done it, but they also do open casting calls and open photo shoots to where people can come, give a donation. It's $40 for an individual and $25 for a group shot. And if you want to get your photo taken, they will airbrush it. It will look beautiful when it's put together. And basically, it makes it so you are proud to show that photo and show just how much you'll stand up for what you believe in. We're doing that this weekend. It's going to go from 3 until 6. They've never turned anybody away, so I can't imagine that's going to happen this weekend. We will get everybody in. But come early and hang out and, you got to sign a waiver before. So come early, get that out of the way, and then hang out with everybody. It's kind of like a big hangout where you have fun with everybody, and then afterwards you can go to the wrestling show. So it's going to be an awesome day. A lot of the guys are going to be a part of the No Hate campaign as well. We are going to be doing a large group photo of a bunch of the wrestlers all put together, and basically it's Team Ring of Honor and Team No Hate.
Awesome, Maria. Well, we're not going to keep you long, Maria. If your fans want to reach you via social media, how can they reach you?
They can reach me on Twitter at Maria L. Kanellis. If they want to reach me on Facebook, it's official Maria Kanellis. If they want, and I don't talk to anybody on Facebook, so if you think that you're talking to me, you're not. I also have a website. It's mariakanellis.com. You can catch all of our videos of me and Mike on Prodigy Superstar, and that's on YouTube. You can also check me out on Ring of Honor Television and ringofhonor.com. I'm also a spokesperson for a fantasy football league. It's paythefan.com, and it's one of the very few fantasy football leagues that actually pays the fan. So if you want to compete against me, go to paythefan.com.
Also, man, Maria, I know you're a Chicago and you're a huge Bears fan, and you saw that huge comeback victory last Sunday.
I did not see it because I was in Boston, and it wasn't on television.
Oh, my God!
My phone in my hand trying to figure out what was happening. I know that they came back, it was 10 seconds left, and they won the game, and to me that's the most important thing.
Oh.
Doesn't matter how ugly it is, as long as you win.
Oh, Maria, that pass from Cutler to the black unicorn, Marcellus Bennett, was a beautiful catch in the end zone.
Was it?
Oh, yes, it was.
I wish that Cutler would just be great this year. I mean, he has all the tools. I wish that he would just be something special this year.
On my Twitter page, I have a little hashtag that says, "In Trustman, we trust." So far, Mark Trustman proving me right, and Jake Cutler somewhat has been stepping up to the plate. Because you have to admit, Maria, under Lovie Smith, Cutler probably would have thrown like 4 or 5 interceptions, and we probably would have got blown out.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like him, so, I mean, I didn't really have too much of an opinion on that coach, but I'm excited for the change. I'm very sad that our locker isn't there. He was, like, the most manly man on the planet, but, I have my own manly man, so I guess I'll have to get over it.
Awesome. Well, Maria, we're going to let you go. We would love to have you back on the podcast to talk to you more in depth.
I promise I'll talk this time.
And
thank you so much.
And we hope to have you back maybe in October to talk about the next pay-per-view for ROH coming up in Chicago Ridge.
Perfect.
I'd also love to discuss more of the history of your career, if possible.
Okay, well, definitely the next time. I have to get off the phone here, but
Sure.
I appreciate you guys having me on. And if we're ever around, you guys should come to a show and check it out.
We sure will. We're going to try and make plans to come to the Chicago Ridge show.
Yeah.
Perfect. I want to see you there.
Awesome. We'll be wearing our Maria t-shirts, and Sophie will jump up and down and say, "I love Total Divas" with her sign.
Yeah, right.
Also, all right, you drive safe and be safe and all that other good stuff. And we will catch you some other time.
Bye.
Bye.
And we're back. We had a great interview, Maria Kanellis, really promoting ROH's partnership and involvement this coming weekend with the NOH8 campaign during the Death Before Dishonor 11 event and during this ROH TV taping on Saturday night. And our next interview, ladies and gentlemen, is with, I consider, the future of Ring of Honor, the future of professional wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you, he's no longer the prodigy, he is the future, he is the Michael Bennett.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Heel Turn Podcast, is proud to present the one, the only. He is not the prodigy. He is the one and only, in my mind, the future of Ring of Honor Pro Wrestling. The one and only, the Michael Bennett. Michael, welcome to the Heel Turn Podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me, and thank you for the wonderful introduction.
No problem, my friend. We're not going to keep you too long tonight, because we know you're extremely busy. So, so we're going to get right into it, buddy.
All right.
What inspired you to get involved in the wrestling industry?
Well, I was a fan when I was real little, probably about 5 or 6, and then around 8 or 9, I fell out of love with wrestling. But then around, I would say when I was 12 or 13 or 14, right around my preteen, teenage years, I became a huge fan because of the Attitude Era. And, you know, it was one of those things where I can't really explain it. It just, as soon as I started watching wrestling again, it just clicked. And
Right.
I knew that it was something that I had to do, that it was what I was meant to do. And, you know, I never turned back. There was never really a defining moment where I was like, oh, that made me want to be a wrestler. It just always felt right from day one.
Awesome, man. Mike, who was your favorite wrestler during the Attitude Era?
During the Attitude Era, actually, it was Mick Foley was my favorite. For whatever reason, I think I just loved his heart for pro wrestling. I love comedy, and he was
Right.
always funny to me. He was a guy that never should have made it and did, so I love that story, and he just always would make me laugh. I mean, obviously, I love DX and Stone Cold and all that, but he always was very near and dear to my heart.
Be honest, Mike. When Mr. Foley first premiered Mr. Socko, you went to your closet and grabbed a sock, did you?
I ruined many socks with trying to draw faces on them as Mr.
Oh,
Socko.
my God.
I believe I went to Mick Foley for Halloween. My mom made a vampire mask out of old belts, which I think I still have somewhere, but it was pretty cool looking. So, yeah,
Dude, you should totally...
I definitely was a big fan.
Dude, you should totally bring that out to the ring sometime.
I think I might have to. I might get Ring of Honor may fire me after I bring it to the ring.
So do it on your last day there.
Do it on your very last day.
Do it.
Yes, do it on your last day of Ring of Honor before you make it big.
Maria wear it.
Oh, nice. One thing, Mike. You competed for New England Wrestling Association in late 2004, defeating Brian Rogers to win the AEWA Heavyweight Championship. How did you feel winning your first professional wrestling championship during that time in 2004?
You know, it's wrestling to me. Championships are great, but honestly, I've always been a guy who the approval and the respect and the admiration of his peers has always meant more to me than any kind of championship. Now, I'm sure if I win any kind of championship in Ring of Honor, it might be a different story, but
Right.
I've always really looked for the guys in the back to respect me and to appreciate what I do and to look up to me or to just really enjoy wrestling with me. So those always meant more to me. So belts, titles, and championships, I think maybe when I win them on a bigger stage, they might mean a little bit more to me, but as of right now, the admiration of my peers is really, really what I try to go for.
Also, man, I commend you for it, definitely. And Mike, you competed. Well, I believe you still do. Do you still compete for top rope promotions?
I do. Yes, I do.
Describe your experience competing for top rope promotions, sir.
That's actually one of the first places I started working when I became a professional wrestler. And you know what? It's always very close to my heart because they always gave me opportunities. And as soon as Spike Dudley took over
up out of me, and we blend together and hit each other with chairs. And that feud I had with him is always really special to me. And that company, I have a lot of good friends there, like Matt Taven went through there, and Vinny Marcellia, and a guy named BK Jordan, and a guy named Guy Alexander, and Ryan Drew. And there's just a lot of people that I came up with through wrestling there that is really special to me. So I always like going. I always go to their training center and try to help out with the younger guys that are coming in.
Awesome, Mike. Big Al?
Hey, I was just wondering about what are some of your other favorite feuds over in Top?
That's a tough one. I've had some really good matches with Matt Taven over there. I've had some good matches with Jason Blade and Vinny Marcellia. There's just a really good crew there that I like working and like wrestling with. And now the head trainer over at the Top Rope School is Ryan Drew, and he's one of the most underrated guys in independent wrestling. So I really enjoy just working their guys because when he trains the newer guys that come through, they always seem to be really good. So then I get to wrestle them. So there's really just a hotbed of a lot of guys there that are just really good and fun to work with.
And you mentioned Matt Taven. Matt Taven is the current Ring of Honor World Television Champion. What do you think of his success so far in Ring of Honor?
I'm thrilled for it. Matt is not only an extremely talented wrestler, he's actually a really super close friend of mine. So when he first debuted, or when I first found out he was going to start working there, I was thrilled. He's one of those guys who is literally just scratching the surface of what he's capable of. I mean, even in the past year of being with Ring of Honor, I've seen his promos, which have always been, he struggled with, just well exceed what I ever thought he could do, and they're only going to get better. And
Agreed.
TV title run has been very entertaining with Truth and the Hoopla Hotties, and I'm just really looking forward to what he's going to bring to the table. And as a friend, I'm super, super proud of all his success.
Awesome. Matt, you made your ROH debut in 2008, competing in your hometown of Boston, Massachusetts, and a couple of years later, you attended their training camp. Do you just quickly describe your experience during your ROH training camp?
Yeah, absolutely. It was one of those instances where Kevin Kelly, when he left WWE, we connected at an independent show through Bob Evans. Bob was a mutual friend of both Kevin and mine. So
good old Brutal Bob.
Good old Brutal Bob. And then, me and Kevin hit it off right away, and he kind of became somewhat of a mentor to me through just helping me out, critiquing my promos. Anything I would ask him, he was always there for me. And then when he started working with Ring of Honor, he called me up and he said, "Hey, I've been talking to Jim Cornette a lot, and we really think you should come down to this first tryout seminar we're doing and show everyone what you got." I was like, you know what? I've been working and trying, so I might as well give this one a shot. I went, and then, the rest is history. Cornette saw something in me, which I'm glad he did.
Awesome.
He offered me a contract a couple months after.
Awesome, dude. Congratulations on that huge opportunity. I know that was me. I'd be freaking out, probably pissed on myself, but...
You know what it is I've, at that point, I had been in wrestling, I think, about 7 or 8 years, and I had, done the runaround. I've done dark matches for WWE and TNA, and I was just, not fed up with wrestling, but just kind of like, you know what, I know where I'm at in wrestling, so I know my level, I just have to go and do it, and, I still get nervous before I go out for matches, but there's very few things in wrestling that scare me anymore, where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, just because you feel like been in wrestling for 11 years now, there's just nothing I haven't seen or can't do,
Right. Understandable. Big Al?
Mike, how did it feel wrestling the legendary Jerry Lynn for his final ROH match before his retirement?
And those are the moments that I talk about where, championships don't matter to me, with the respect to my peers. Having matches against him and Lance Storm and being chosen by those two, that means more to me than anything else. Being respected by someone like Jerry Lynn, who I watched, it made me want to be a wrestler. And guys like Lance Storm, who I watched and
Right.
legendary not only for the fact that it's Ring of Honor, but he was in ECW and they used to sell that building out, and that was
right.
that place. It's just one of those moments that I'll always remember.
Awesome, dude. The Hammerside Ballroom is one of the more legendary places on the indie circuit, and
it is. It's amazing.
Yeah, wrestling Jerry Lynn in front of that sellout crowd is got to be one of the most awesome experiences of your career.
It definitely was. Definitely.
All right, Mike, unfortunately, BJ Whitmore legitimately injured himself during your first round ROH World Title Tournament match. How did you feel about the initial reaction and reactions from ROH officials back in the backstage area?
You know, that was an incident that was something I hope I never have to experience again. I know BJ very well. BJ's a really good friend. Whatever happened, something went screwy, you know. Until this day, I can't wrap my brain around what happened. And, you know, I always take great pride in protecting my opponent when I'm out there.
Right.
And that's always, you know, the first thing in my head is number one thing is you protect your opponent. So
right.
doing that, it's just, it broke my heart. It really did. And, you know, the guys in the back were great. That's a family. Ring of Honor is a family. And they just, not only did they take care of BJ, but they took care of me. And, you know, everyone from the top officials in Ring of Honor to all the guys and the boys and the wrestlers and the girls, they were all just right there for me saying, this wasn't your fault. These things happen. This is the company. This is the business that we chose. And we know the risk.
Right.
And everyone would text me and call me and tell me, you know, someone can get just as hurt off of snapmare than
right.
they can off of pile driver, so you can't beat yourself up. And, you know, I just made sure that I was there for BJ no matter what. Me and Maria rode in the hospital. We rode in the ambulance with him, stayed overnight in the hospital with him, just made sure he was okay because it is a family. Of any company I've ever worked for, Ring of Honor, we're a family. And just knowing that BJ was okay, yeah, it just, you know, it was surreal when it happened because I'd never hurt anyone before. So, yeah, it really, it hurt, man. It put a hole in my stomach that it broke my heart. I never want to feel that way again, but I love BJ. Everyone was really cool. You know, there are a few people out there that like to take little jabs at me, but, you know, that's the world we live in. So, you know, Mark Madden likes to write an article about how me and BJ are idiots, but that's just because he's a fucking bottom feeder, so.
You know what, Mike? Screw Mark Madden and his thoughts down there and his little radio show. You know, it's the nature of the business. You know the risks that go into it. You protected yourself. You tried to protect BJ as well. It was a freak accident. You know, just thank God BJ is all right and he's able to come back from this injury in the near future. You got nothing to hang your head down on, Mike. You're a great wrestler. You're a great competitor. And I was sincere when I said in the intro that you're going to be the face of Ring of Honor sooner or later. Don't let that crap get to you whatsoever. And I am proud that Ring of Honor and the guys backstage corralled around you and BJ during that particular moment. That's really an eye opener for me. I'm sure it's an eye opener for our fans as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, it was one of those things where anyone who's ever stepped foot in the ring and knows what we go through,
exactly,
texted me and called me and understood what I was going through, and then the people who've never been in the ring, like Mark Madden,
exactly,
wanted to criticize. So it was like, well, and like I said, Ring of Honor is my family. I love everyone back there, and it was like me and BJ, they just stood behind us and said, it's us against you guys. So
exactly, Mike. Thank God for your friends and family backstage. And also, Mike, according to Pro Wrestling Torch, you were being recruited by the WWE, but somehow you couldn't come to terms on a contract. What terms you couldn't reach with WWE during that time?
Well, you know, I did the tryout down in Tampa at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And from everything I heard of, they were interested in me. But to me personally, there was a lot more that I hadn't accomplished. I'm 28 years old, and I really wanted to do more in Ring of Honor. I want to be a top guy of Honor. I want to sell out shows at Ring of Honor. I want to go over to. I want to go to Japan.
Right.
Do shows in Japan. I'm going over to the UK for the first time in my career in March. So if I was with WWE or in development, maybe I wouldn't get that opportunity. Not a knock on WWE. Someday down the line, I would love to work there, as anyone in wrestling would.
Right.
But me personally, there was just so much more I wanted to do in Ring of Honor before I gave that shot. When I went to the tryout, I was like, all right, let's go. I'm going to go to WWE. And then after the tryout, I didn't get told no. I didn't get told yes. I got told, maybe give us 6 months. And then I said, you know what?
Wow.
You know what? I need a little bit more than 6 months. I think I'm going to stay with Ring of Honor for the next 2 years. So it was kind of like a mix of both.
Right.
I'm really happy with my decision.
Amen, brother. I truly believe you made the right choice, because you will probably got lost somewhere down there developmental. So I believe you made the right career choice by sticking with Ring of Honor and expand your horizon and expand your craft by going over to Japan and competing for those promotions over there and really get your name out there. I personally think you made a good career move.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I decided to do it back in June, and me and Maria sat down and talked about it, and I made the decision, and you know what? I've been happy with it ever since I signed that contract. So,
Awesome.
2 years, who knows where I'll be, but right now, my heart and soul is in Ring of Honor.
Awesome.
All right, Mike, I just wanted to ask you about the event that's coming up this weekend with Death Before Dishonor. How's your involvement with the huge 8-man tag? How do you think you're going to do?
You know, I don't know how I'm going to fare. I don't think I've ever tagged with any of those guys, but huge fan of Red Dragon, obviously huge fan of Matt Taven, like I said, and the guys across the ring from us. Well, I'm not going to be fans of them that night, but you know what? I think it'll be a really entertaining match for the fans, because you have all types of mixes of people in there, where there's guys that like to high fly, and there's guys that like to kick hard, and there's guys that like to make the crowd laugh, and Truth's going to be out there, and the Hotties, and Maria. I think it's just going to be like a giant circus. I think you're going to get a mix of everything, so it should be really fun.
Hey, Mike, this coming Friday at Death Before Dishonor 11, we're going to be calling a new ROH World Heavyweight Champion, and we have a little tournament bracket here with the final 4 competitors, and we want to get your predictions and put your predictions on our blog page, the heelturnpodcast.blogspot.com. In the first match, who you got between Michael Elkin and Mr. Wrestling Kevin Steen?
Well, that's a good question. I've been in the ring with both those guys, and they both hit really hard, so that's a tough one, but I think because of his experience and his willingness to go all out, I think I'm going to go with Kevin Steen.
All right, Kevin Steen in the first match. All right.
All right, Mike, what do you think of Adam Cole and Tommaso?
Well, I think I'm going to go against the grain, and having known Tommaso my entire career, I think I'm going to choose Tommaso, because I've never seen someone as hungry as he is after coming out that knee surgery, and he's tearing it up right now, so I think I'm going to go with him over Adam Cole.
Mike, I can't believe it. Big Al and I, we did the podcast recording before we called you up, and Big Al went with Tommaso as well. So your brackets are starting to look like a little bit. So in the finals, you got Kevin Steen and Tommaso. Who comes out on top in your tournament bracket?
Well, you know, from a personal standpoint, I'd like to see it be Tommaso, but Kevin Steen's been there, and he's Ring of Honor to the bone. I'm going to have to choose Kevin Steen. I would like to choose Tommaso, but I think Kevin's going to go for his second world title run.
Awesome. Well, Mike, in my bracket, I got the unbreakable Michael Elkin winning the whole thing, and Big Al has Michael Elkin in his bracket. He almost choked and went for Adam Cole.
Don't sleep on Adam Cole. He's one of the best people I've ever been in the ring with. So.
Yes, he is. He's a great competitor, and I definitely see this work in Ring of Honor and also in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. I believe he's the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla champion, is he?
He is, yeah. He's really, truly an amazing professional wrestler, and he's so young and so talented at the age he's at that he's going to
Awesome, dude. Mike, if your fans or our fans want to contact you via social media, how can they contact you, my friend?
Right now, on Twitter, it's Real Mike Bennett. Look me up on Facebook. Just type in Mike Bennett, and you'll find me on Facebook. I'm on Instagram at Real Mike Bennett. Also, one more thing I really want to push,
Sure.
because I'm a huge supporter of it, is this Saturday night, not Friday night, but Saturday night at the TV taping that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
The NOH8 Campaign will be there to take photos with the fans and the wrestlers. It costs a little bit of money to get your photo taken, but the money all goes to equality and gay rights and all that stuff. Me and Maria did the photo shoot about a year back.
So did we.
Really good cause. It's the first pro wrestling company to ever work with this organization or to ever work with a gay and lesbian organization. I'm really proud that they're doing it. Maria set the whole thing up because she's an amazing woman. So if you're in the area, please come, enjoy the show, and then get your photo taken with the NOH8 Campaign.
Yeah, Mike, about a year ago, myself and the wife, we both also did our photos for the NOH8 Campaign. And I gotta say, it is a great movement that's going on right now.
Oh, it's incredible. And I have one of my best friends is gay. I'm a huge supporter of gay rights and gay marriage. And this is just one thing to further push the movement, get equality for gays. It's a great, great cause. And I'm really proud to be working for a company like Ring of Honor that accepts it and brings it in and is going to bring in their fans, because I know their fans are very accepting. So I'd love to see a great turnout for this, and then enjoy the best wrestling on the planet.
Yes, now, if any fans want to participate with the No-Hate photos, I must warn you, bring your white t-shirt with you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mike, for being with us on tonight. We would love to have you back on our podcast to talk with us some more about your amazing career, my friend.
Of course, anytime. Thank you for having me. You know my email. Shoot me an email, and I'll come back. Hopefully I'll have more to talk about next time. Maybe something big will be taking place.
Hopefully so, because I know Ring of Honor has a big event coming up in Chicago Ridge, I believe, in October, and we definitely like to bring you back on before then to talk about that event and talk about your progression at ROH too.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Awesome, dude. Well, take care. God bless you. You have an awesome night, my friend.
But thank you guys for having me, and take care of yourselves, okay?
Yeah, you do the same, sir, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much. Take care, guys.
All right.
Later.
And we just concluded our interview with Michael Bennett. Big Al, it was a great interview. Mike gave us a lot of insight to what's going on, not only in his career, but what's going on currently in ROH. He did a great job previewing Death Before Dishonor 11 with us. And Big Al, your final thoughts on this event coming up this weekend?
I think it's going to be far better than the Night of Champions pay-per-view that we saw last Sunday. I mean, you got to admit, Night of Champions has never really been that great.
Night of Champions at one point was a good pay-per-view, but just in the last several years, WWE just didn't give a darn about it.
Yeah,
this year was mainly about the corporation, the whole Daniel Bryan storyline.
Yeah, and everything else seemed like an afterthought.
Yeah, everything else afterthought. But at least at this pay-per-view, we're previewing a big event from a company that actually do give a darn about every single competitor, about every single match. Who actually will every single storyline.
I have to say this. I have to say this about Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor, they seem to push their guys like they actually matter.
Exactly, and they will take guys' weakness.
No man is
an
island there.
Exactly. Once again, this coming Friday, Death Before Dishonor 11, live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the National Guard Armory. The event starts at, I believe, 7:30. There are tickets still available, low as $20. Go to ROHWrestling.com to receive your ticket information. Also, go to ROHWrestling.com to order it if you're not in the Philly area and you can't make it to the event. Go to that website and order this pay-per-view and stream it live on your laptop, your desktop, your iPad, your tablet. Screen this pay-per-view. I guarantee you, it's going to be a historical night. The crowning of a new ROH World Heavyweight Champion, and you're going to have some great matches to go to boot with it. And also, the very next night, on Saturday night, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the same Armory, they will do a ROH TV taping as well. So, a 2-for-1 deal that night. There are tickets still available, and you can order a Friday night event on ROHWrestling.com. Big Al, any final thoughts before we take off, my friend?
Battleground's gonna suck.
Agreed. Folks, it's been a joy doing this 99.9% ROH preview show, Death Before Dishonor 11. We will hope we go do this again very next month with Glory by Honor coming live from Chicago in October. He is Big Al.
Woohoo!
And I am Nick the Shopmaster McGee.
Have a week and get out of my ring.